We all know we're supposed to drink water, right? Like, it's the most basic health advice out there.
Yeah.
But then, chatting with Sean, the author of Zero Fitness FucX, it really hit me. There's a whole other layer to this, especially when it comes to fitness.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. We get so caught up in the fancy stuff that we forget about the fundamentals, like good old H2O.
Exactly. Okay, so let's dive into this. Sean was super adamant about ditching the whole drink when thirsty mindset. He said by the time you actually feel thirsty, you're already heading towards dehydration. And that can really mess with your workouts.
It's wild, right? Our bodies are so complex, but the way we sense thirst is actually kind of delayed. By the time your brain's like, hey, I'm thirsty, your body's already low on water.
Oh, totally. I can't tell you how many times I've slogged through a workout thinking it was just a bad day.
Yeah.
And then later, it hits me. I'm just dehydrated.
Yeah.
It's crazy how we misinterpret those signals.
It happens all the time. And the thing is, it's not just about feeling thirsty. This dehydration thing, it impacts everything. Your energy levels, how well you recover.
It's all connected.
Exactly. Sean, in Zero Fitness FucX, does a great job explaining the science behind it all.
Okay, so break it down for us. How does it actually work?
Think of your body as a highway system, right?
Okay, I like where this is going.
All those nutrients and oxygen, they need to get to your muscles. And waste products got to be removed.
Yeah,
Well, water is the transport system that keeps everything flowing. If you're well hydrated, it's like a smooth, efficient highway.
I get it. But when you're dehydrated, it's like rush hour traffic.
Exactly. Everything slows down, your performance suffers, you feel sluggish.
And what about muscle recovery? Sean talked about how water helps flush out those waste products that build up during a workout.
Totally. Things like lactic acid, which contribute to that post-workout soreness. If you're not properly hydrated, that flushing out process is way less efficient.
Meaning you're going to be sore for longer.
Exactly.
Man, this is making me realize I've totally underestimated good old H2O.
It's easy to do. But beyond the performance stuff, staying hydrated is crucial for so many other bodily functions. Digestion, temperature regulation, even how well your brain works.
So how much water should we actually be drinking?
Well, Sean recommends at least 2 liters a day in the colder months,
Okay.
and then bumping it up to 2.5 or even 3 liters when it's hotter out or if you're sweating more.
Makes sense. You got to replenish what you lose.
Exactly. One thing I really appreciate about Sean's approach is he always emphasizes individual needs. Our bodies are all different, so there's no magic number that works for everyone.
You know, I love his tip about flavoring water naturally, like just adding a few slices of cucumber or some berries. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Makes it way more enjoyable to hit those water goals.
Totally. All right, before we jump into more of those practical tips, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, Primus 3 Supplements Performance Enhancing Electrolytes. They've got this awesome formula designed to replenish those electrolytes we lose when we sweat, so you can stay hydrated and perform at your best.
I've heard good things about those.
Me too.
All right, let's hear what they have to say.
You've probably seen this all over TikTok. It's called Primus 3, the performance-enhancing electrolyte supplement that's taking the fitness world by storm. Packed with vitamins and amino acids, it's designed to boost your workouts and recovery. Available in delicious flavors, Primus 3 is the secret weapon for athletes and fitness enthusiasts everywhere.
Back again and ready for more hydration talk.
You know, gotta admit, when I first skimmed Zero Fitness FucX, I kind of glossed over the whole electrolyte thing.
Yeah, it can get a bit sciencey.
It did, but hearing you talk about it now, it's actually pretty interesting.
Right, it's like who knew water and minerals could be so complex?
Seriously. But it makes sense, right? Our bodies are these crazy, intricate systems.
Everything's connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And electrolytes play such a key role in all that. They're not just random minerals. They're like essential for communication between cells, for your muscles to contract.
Nerve impulses, all that.
Yeah, like tiny electrical messengers keeping everything running.
So how do we even know if we're getting enough electrolytes? Well, most people, if they're eating a balanced diet and staying hydrated, they're probably fine. But athletes especially, if you're training hard or it's hot out, then you might need to pay more attention.
Okay, so what are some signs you might be low? Sean mentioned muscle cramps in the book. Is that a common one?
Muscle cramps, definitely, especially during or after a workout. You might also feel tired, weak, get headaches. Even your mood and focus can be off.
Wow, didn't realize it could affect so much. And if it gets really bad?
Then you might have nausea, vomiting, even seizures. It can get serious.
Okay, so clearly we got to make sure we're getting enough, especially if we're active. What's the best way to do that?
Food is a great source. Things like bananas, avocados, leafy greens, even coconut water, all naturally rich in electrolytes. And that's what Sean really advocates for in Zero Fitness Fucks.
That whole food focus, yeah.
Yeah, he's not big on relying on supplements unless you absolutely have to.
He had that line, I remember, something like, don't try to out-supplement a bad diet.
Exactly. Gotta get the basics right first.
But what about those times when you do need an extra boost? Like after a super sweaty workout.
Then yeah, electrolyte supplements can be helpful. But choose wisely, right? Look for natural ingredients. Avoid the ones loaded with sugar and artificial stuff.
Speaking of, our sponsor, Primus 3, has their performance-enhancing electrolytes.
Right.
They use a blend of natural minerals, no added junk, specifically designed to replenish what you lose when you sweat.
Love that they focus on quality and being effective, but keep things natural.
This whole conversation has really made me rethink my approach to hydration. It's not just about chugging water. It's about all these things working together. Fluids, electrolytes, minerals,
Yeah, it's all connected.
and it's so crucial for how our bodies function.
Totally agree. And what I find so empowering about this, knowing all this, is that it gives you a tangible way to take control of your health. Just by making an effort to stay hydrated, you're setting yourself up for success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered workouts, recovery, even how well your brain works. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, right?
Weight management.
Yeah. Sean spends a whole chapter on that in Zero Fitness Fox. And honestly, it blew my mind.
It's pretty fascinating stuff. I was skeptical at first too, but Sean doesn't present it as some magical weight loss thing.
So it's not just about drinking water to feel full.
No, it's more about how water can actually help regulate your appetite.
Okay, how does that work?
So, you know those times when you think you're starving, but really you're just thirsty?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's all about hormones. When you're hydrated, your body produces leptin.
Leptin, right?
And leptin helps regulate your appetite. It signals to your brain that you're full. But when you're dehydrated, your leptin levels go down and you get those crazy cravings.
You end up overeating.
Exactly. It's not about replacing meals with water. It's about supporting your body to send the right signals so you can make better food choices, control your portions.
And you know, this reminds me of what Sean said about water and digestion.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Water is essential for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients.
Keeps moving, right?
Exactly. It helps prevent constipation. It dissolves nutrients and carries them into your bloodstream.
So if you're dehydrated, your digestion is messed up.
Big time. It's like throwing a wrench in the whole process. And when your digestion is off, it affects everything, your energy, your immune system.
Seriously, this whole hydration thing, it's like a superpower.
Huh?
It affects our workouts, our recovery, how we manage our weight, our digestion. It's crazy how something so simple can have such a huge impact.
It really is. And what's so cool is that it's something we can control. Just by making a conscious effort to stay hydrated, we're setting ourselves up for success in so many areas of our lives.
I'm so glad we had this conversation. I feel like I'm seeing water in a whole new light.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's not just some boring necessity. It's like this vital element that fuels our bodies and minds.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into water and fitness,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a question. How might your life change if you really, truly embraced the power of hydration? Think about that. We'll be back after a short break to explore that and more.
You've probably seen this all over TikTok. It's called Primus 3, the performance-enhancing electrolyte supplement that's taking the fitness world by storm. Packed with vitamins and amino acids, it's designed to boost your workouts and recovery. Available in delicious flavors, Primus 3 is the secret weapon for athletes and fitness enthusiasts everywhere.
Welcome back. It's amazing to think about how something as simple as water can have such a huge impact on our lives.
I know, right? It really makes you rethink those basic health tips we tend to take for granted. Like, we all know we should drink more water.
But it's so easy to dismiss it, like, yeah, whatever.
Exactly. Sean's book, Zero Fitness Fucks, really opened my eyes to how much I was overlooking hydration. And I loved how he explained the why behind it all.
Yeah, he's great at breaking down the science in a way that makes sense. It's not just about blindly following rules. It's about understanding how it all works.
And empowering, right?
Totally.
One thing that stuck with me was his emphasis on individuality. Like, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to hydration.
Absolutely. He encourages people to experiment and find what works best for them because our bodies are all so different. Activity level, climate, your overall health, even genetics, it all plays a role.
So how do we figure out what's right for us? Besides just listening to our thirst cues.
Well, thirst is a good starting point, but remember, it's kind of a delayed signal. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already on your way to being dehydrated. So it's about being proactive, making hydration a habit.
Like always having a water bottle with you.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind, right. But if you have water nearby, you're way more likely to sip on it throughout the day.
Sean also talked about setting reminders on your phone.
Oh, yeah, those can be
It's
lifesavers.
so easy to get caught up in stuff and forget to drink.
I know. And now there are all these cool apps that track your intake and send you reminders. Technology can be pretty handy for this stuff.
Wrapping up this deep dive into water and fitness, what strikes me is this sense of empowerment. It's like we've been given this simple, powerful tool to improve our health, and it's available to everyone.
I totally agree. It's about taking that basic human need and making it a priority.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to embrace the power of hydration. Experiment, find what works for you, and make water your go-to beverage.
Your body will definitely thank you.
And remember, hydration's a journey, not a destination. It's about making small, consistent choices every day that add up to a healthier, more energized you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, stay curious, stay hydrated, and keep diving deep.